and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Bodies recovered from Tara airplane crash site, probe panel formed to investigate the crash. Newly elected mayor of Kathmandu calls to resolve West management of the capital. KMC decides to collaborate with restaurants to set up public toilets. Government accused of announcing populist budget targeting upcoming election. Opposition party says it is impossible to implement the budget. Russia-Ukraine fight block by block in eastern city. EU agrees to partially Russian embargo. And Nepali national cricket team lands in USA. The 22-member team ready to play ICC World Cup League 2 in the USA. And now the news in detail. Search and rescue teams have recovered 29 bodies from the site of Tara airplane crash in Mustang district, a report.
The bodies of 10 persons who died in the crash on Sunday were brought to Kathmandu yesterday evening. Spokesperson of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, Teknath Sitola, said 21 dead bodies have been recovered from the site and 10 of them were brought to Kathmandu in the first phase. The dead bodies were brought by a Mi-17 helicopter of Nepal Army and have been sent to the hospital for postmortem. Identity of the deceased is yet to be ascertained. It is said 11 other dead bodies are in the crash site and would be brought to Pokhara and then to Kathmandu today once the weather improves. The search for one dead body is ongoing. Government authorities said that the search teams are yet to recover the body due to adverse weather. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation yesterday formed a 5-member panel to probe into the Tara airplane crash that occurred in Mustang district on Sunday. Receiving a press statement, the ministry said senior aeronautical engineer Ratish Chandra Lal Suman would lead the team. The other members in the panel include Captain Deepu Jwarjan, Senior Maintenance Engineer Upendra Lal Shrestha, Senior Meteorologist Mani Ratna Sakya and Minister Joint Secretary Buddhi Sagar Lamichhane. The wreckage of the aircraft with all call sign 9 and AET was found yesterday morning at an altitude of 14,500 feet at the base of Manapati Peak in Mustang district. The total of 22 persons, including 19 passengers and 3 crew members, were on board the Twin Otter that was flying to Jamsun Airport from Pokhara.
Newly elected mayor of Kathmandu Metropolitan City, Balendra Shah, has said that he will not celebrate the victory unless there is management of waste in Kathmandu. Stating that the people of Sistol have to face the problem of garbage in Kathmandu, he said that waste management will be his first priority. He took oath in both Nepali and local Newari language and said that waste management is his first priority. Mayor Shah has said that the people of Kathmandu are suffering from the sins committed by the people of Sistol and has announced that he will not wear flower garlands and will not give interviews in the media unless people are allowed to live in a healthy environment. Similarly, newly elected Deputy Mayor of Kathmandu Metropolitan City, Sunita Dangol, said that she would work for the success of the organization beyond the success and failure of the individual. She expressed her commitment to work for the rights, interests, entitlements and comfortable living of the people of Kathmandu for the next 5 years. Employees and residents of the Kathmandu metropolis has reached out to the delegation on Monday to express their grief over the problem of parking. She expressed confidence that the problem, which could not be addressed even after raising voice time and again, would be solved now. After the first periodic election in Kathmandu Metropolitan City, the party representatives assumed the leadership of Kathmandu Metropolitan City. The first meeting of the newly elected Executive Committee of Kathmandu Metropolitan City was focused on waste management. The meeting was formed a task force under the coordination of KMC Mayor Balendra Shah to study the problem of waste management of the capital city. The first executive meeting of KMC held yesterday under the chairmanship of the newly elected Mayor Shah decided to form a 5-member task force that includes the deputy mayor. Mayor Shah said that the city's waste will no longer be dumped in Sistol and Bansaridada, but necessary action will be taken to process the waste matter. Similarly, the meeting also took a decision to collaborate with hotel, restaurants and petrol pumps in bringing public toilet into operation. The KMC will put up signs in the restaurants and petrol pumps which will be available for public use free of cost. Similarly, physical infrastructures, ambulances will be brought into operation to fill the potholes in the roads. The meeting also decides to set up a call center to address the grievances of the city dwellers immediately. The executive meeting will convene today. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 10 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 150 after 9 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 979,137 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 966,962 people have already recovered. No new death from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from the virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 66 countries affected by coronavirus. USA tops the list with 85.72 million cases, followed by India with 43.15 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 531.39 million people worldwide and has claimed over 6.32 million lives. The meeting of five-party alliance has decided to move ahead, forcing electoral alliance for the upcoming executive members' election. The current coalition had also entered electoral alliance in the recently held May 13 local level election. The meeting convened at the official residence of Prime Minister at Palwatar on Monday took the decision to this effect, according to Minister for Communications and Information Technology Gyanendra Bahadur Karki. Minister Karki, who also attended the meeting, shared that the five-party coalition also decided to instruct its respective parties, province and district committees to enter electoral alliance and move ahead for the district coordination committees election in all 77 districts. Similarly, today's meeting also deliberated on the result of the May 13 election. Minister Karki asserted that the current coalition would be maintained as the country needed it. Furthermore, he clarified that the periodic election will be held within the stipulated time. Present in the meeting were Prime Minister and Nepali Congress NC President Sher Bahadur Deoba, CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Puspa Kamal Dahal Prachanda, CPN Unified Socialist Chairperson Madhav Kumar Nepal, Janata Samajwadi Chairperson Upendra Yadav, Rashtriya Jana Morcha's Vice Chairperson Durga Paudel, among others. And now the news from economic front. The government has decided to hike the salary of civil servants and also reduced the age limit for elderly people to receive old age allowance. Many people view this as a populist move to secure votes in the upcoming elections. The provincial elections are scheduled to be held after 5 months. Although the government claims that the budget is balanced, the opposition parties say that it is not possible to implement it. A group of people believe that the budget announced by the government is likely to cause immediate as well as long-term problems. The budget unveiled by Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma has populist programs such as increasing salaries of civil servants, reducing the age limit of elderly people and receive old age allowance, pensions for farmers and the hike in allowance for nursing women. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Russian troops pushed deeper into a key eastern Ukrainian city Monday, fighting street by street with Kyiv's forces in a battle that has left in ruins in a bid to pressure Moscow to end the war. The European Union agreed to a partial Russian oil embargo, a report.
As Moscow advanced on increased in intensity, Russian forces also sailed parts of Ukraine's northeast and a struggle continued for control of a southern region. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, said Russia had prevented the export of 22 million tons of Ukrainian grain, contributing to a growing global food crisis. Military analysts described the fight as part of race against time for the Kremlin. The city is important to Russian efforts to quickly complete the capture of the eastern industrial region of the Donbass before more Western arms arrive to bolster Ukraine's defense. Moscow-backed separatists already held territory in the region and have been fighting Ukrainian troops for 8 years. In a potential setback of Ukraine, US President Joe Biden appeared to dismiss reports that the US was considering sending long-range rocket system to the country. But the European Union approved additional sanction on Russia as part of a long-delayed financial support package to help Ukraine. EU leaders agreed Monday to embargo most Russian oil imports into the 27-nation bloc by year-end. The agreement came after Zelensky asked the EU to target Russian oil exports so Moscow feels the price for what it is doing against Ukraine.
You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. A 22-member team that left Nepal on Saturday reached the George airport in the USA on Sunday. Upon reaching Houston, the team took rest and then celebrated the birthday parties of batsman Dev Khanal and physiotherapist Bikram Neupane. The team will take part in light practice on Tuesday, followed by a full practice on Wednesday. Nepal will play 2 matches in Houston before it completes in the League 2. The first practice match is against Nepal All-Stars featuring former players of the Nepal and international pairs, and the second match is against Houston Hurricanes. The first practice match is on June 2 and the second on June 4. All the matches of League 2 will be held at Musa Stadium. The Nepali squad includes captain Sandeep Lamichhane, Asif Sheikh, Kushal Bhurtel, Rohit Paudel, Dipendra Singh Ahiri, Arif Sheikh, Vinod Bhandari, Sunil Dhamala, Dev Khanal, Adil Ansari, Karan Kesi, Sompal Kami, Susan Bhari, Kishore Mahato and Sagar Dhakal. Novak Djokovic says he is ready for the biggest challenge one can have at the French Open when he plays 13-time champion Rafael Nadal in a much-anticipated quarter-final on Tuesday. The pair, who gave 41 Grand Slam titles between them, continue their rivalry with a men's record 59th meeting. The match starts at 19:45 BST in the Court Philip Chartier night session. 5th seed Nadal 35 has not played Serbia's Djokovic since he lost to the world's number 1 in last year's semi-final on the Paris clay. Djokovic 35 leads 30-28 in the head-to-head record after the handed Nadal just his third gross at Roland Garros. Nadal moved ahead of Djokovic and Switzerland's Roger Federer in terms of Grand Slam men's single trophies when he won a record 21st title with victory at the Australian Open in January. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. 21 crash site, probe panel formed to investigate into the crash. Newly elected mayor of Kathmandu calls to resolve waste management of the capital. KMC decides to collaborate with restaurants to set up public toilets. Government accused of announcing populist budget targeting upcoming election. Opposition parties say it is not impossible to implement it. Russia-Ukraine fight block by block in eastern Syria. EU agrees to partial Russian embargo. And Nepali national cricket team lands in USA. The 22-member team ready to play ICC World Cup League in USA. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.